Okay, in this video we are going to see the guiding values of Indian Constitution. Let us go through the headings first. First one, the guiding value, the dream and the promise. What are the dreams Constitution putting in front of us, and what are the what it giving or promoting, that promising, that we can see in this part. Then we can see the philosophy of the constitution. What are the philosophy, what are the values they are keeping, principles they are keeping, like these things we can see here in this part. Okay, we are starting here. Guiding values of Indian Constitution. In this book we shall study the exact provisions of the constitution on the different subject. At this stage, let us begin by understanding overall philosophy of what our constitution is all about. We are going to study what is the overall philosophy of our constitution, not the particular small ones. We can do this in two ways. We can understand it by reading the views of some of the major leaders on our institution. That's why we already check the leaders, what they said, and what is their role, like that things. And some of the reviews we can see here. It is given the reviews, what it is that we will read then. But it is equally important to read what the constitution says about its own philosophy. We want to understand the view of the great leaders, at the same time what the constitution says to us, that both we want to see. This is what the preamble of our constitution does, and we know we the people of India, like that preamble it is starting. We will read detailed way. Let us turn to these one by one thing we are going to see. First one, the dream and the promise. What the constitution is dreaming or giving the dream to us, as well as the promise to us. Some of you have noticed a name missing from the sketch of the makers of the constitution, that is Mahatma Gandhi. He was not a member of the Constituent Assembly. We never heard like that. After up to independence, we can see Gandhiji's name. Afterwards, we are not seeing his name like as a leader anywhere. Not in Constituent Assembly, not in the Union Cabinet, not in the name of the governors, or anywhere we can't see his name. He was not a Constituent Assembly. He was not there in the Constitution making committee. Yet there were many members who followed his vision. But the leaders, maximum in 299 members, in that more than 200 members, they was following the vision of Gandhiji when they was making the constitution. That's why we can see the parliamentary system, the decentralization of power, reservation for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, all these things. Years ago, writing in his magazine Young India 1931, he had spelt out what he wanted the constitution to. He is giving his idea about constitution in 1931, before 15 years itself, when the Constituent Assembly formed, that is in 1946. Before that, 15 years before itself, Gandhiji given his idea about what the constitution should do for the citizen of India. Okay, I shall strive for the constitution which will release from the thraldom of and the patronage. We want to make the constitution in that India should be free from all the troubles what we are facing from the British or other people, and the patronage. Patronage means who is taking care of India, that is British people again. I shall work for an India in which the poor feel that it is their country, in whose making they have an effective. What Gandhiji's idea about India, in that India where Gandhiji is working for a India, in that India poorest people, not the poor people or poorer, the poorest one, the least one, they shall feel what they want is their own country, the poor people's country, and which making they have effective voice. By that they want to get they can make a effective voice in the Constituent Assembly or in the as a citizen in the country. And India in which there shall be a high class of people in the society there will be high class and low class people. We won't make any change in that. In India, in which the all communities shall live in perfect harmony, even though there is class divisions, class and lower class, or high class and low class, but they want to live harmoniously, perfect harmony. They want to live without making any conflict, any stress, any tension. They want to live in the peacefully in the society. No room in such an India for the curse of untouchability or the curse of intoxicating drinks and drugs. Gandhiji's India, in his view, there is no space for untouchability. There is no space for keeping the people away from discrimination in the society. At the same time, there is no chance to get any intoxicating drinks and drugs. Means the alcohol or any like that, any drinks and the drugs like now we know tobacco, like the different that like that thing should not be there should not be a curse for the. So it means we should be away from the all these things. Women will enjoy the same right as men, shall be satisfied with nothing else. The ladies and gents want to get equal rights. There is no like that discrimination. It is ladies, so they should not come in front of the society, like that things should not be there in the society. Many things he said. First of India should be from everything. Then the poorest should feel like that the own country, and they get effective voice in front of the people. Even though there is high class and low class, but all should live harmoniously. The next one, there is no space for discriminations. It may be in the name of caste or anything. At the same time, there is no space for the intoxicating drinks and drugs, and equal right for men and women should be there in the society. If Gandhiji was satisfied with the constitution, we should follow all these things. Think 70 years before we got the constitution, present in 1950 we got a constitution. Now we are living in 2020, 70 years after getting our constitution. Where we are we reached in the dream of Gandhiji or not? Then this dream of an India that has eliminated inequality was shared by Dr. Ambedkar, who played a key role in the making of the constitution, but he had a different understanding of how inequalities could be. Dr. Ambedkar also supporting the idea of removing the inequality, but having understanding about the removal of the untouchability or the discrimination. Gandhiji said there should not be any discrimination, and Dr. Ambedkar showing the way how to remove these inequalities. He often bitterly criticized Mahatma Gandhi and his vision, because Gandhiji from Kshatriya caste and Dr. Ambedkar from scheduled caste. So what he really experienced, the pain of discrimination, Ambedkar really faced that one, go through that one when he was a child in the school or in the society. Even when he went outside to study, that time also he faced all these things. But Gandhiji not faced that much like that means the untouchability was the system was there, but he was from upper class, so he never experienced the bitterness of this discrimination. And in his concluding speech of the Constituent Assembly, he stated his anxiety very clearly. So he is showing his anxiety wherever he is getting to speak to the people about the anxiety, means the this discrimination problem to people to understand. On 26th of January 1950, we are going to enter a life of contradictions. Means the when we are going to practice that constitution, that time onwards we are going to face the many contradictions. Then in politics we will have equality, in social and economical life we will have the inequality. In the equal right, equal voting right and other things, but in social and economical life we won't get like equality in the society. The addiction in the constitution saying all are equal before law. That will be the political inequality. But socially and economically, but why he said like he is saying like that here Gandhiji said that one should feel like that it is their own country and there should be high class and low class in the society, but they want to live in a harmonious way, like that Gandhiji said. But Ambedkar is saying like that the social and economic we are going to face still many years. And in politics we will recognizing by principle of one man one vote and one vote value. We are in political, we have seen that one in last chapter also. In democracy we having one vote for each person and that one vote for having the equal value. So one man one vote and one value, that we are going to follow, or the constitution going to promise to us. In our social and economical life we shall by reason of our social and economical structure, this is not the problem of any leader or anybody, this is the tradition or the structure of our society, social and economical structure, continue to deny the principle of one man one voice. And because of this one, the social structure things and economical structure the poor and like that things, because of that one we are going to the principle, which principle, one man one value principle. In political way we will get all these things by one man one vote and one value, but the social and economical situation we won't get that one. Still we can see many examples of this social and economical structure problem in our society. How long shall we continue to live this life of contradictions? How many years? After 70 years, still when we are looking back to our society, we can see the contradiction, still it is continuing with us. So Ambedkar asked the question, up to which time, how many years we want to suffer this contradiction? How long shall we continue to deny equality in our social and economic life? How many years we want to face all these things? We know if you are going to the education institutions or the job opportunities, that the reservations for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, like that. But those who are economically poor but they are from the upper caste, are they getting any reservation in society? No. In job opportunities, no. So how many years we should going to deny this equality to the people? Then if we continue to deny it for long, we will do so only by putting our political democracy in April. We are going to, what we are going to do, we are making a partial democracy, or that also political part only. We are not going to give any social and economical equality in the society. So just we are giving a political democracy, that also partially. So this was the anxiety of Ambedkar, what I in the last speech when he given about the speech given in the Constituent Assembly. Why saying all these things? Because this is the reality about the society. The poorest people, they are not going to get any effective voice in the society, and the low caste people or the scheduled caste or OBC or the minority people, they are not going to get any equality in the society. And we will stop here and continue in next video.